Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we're going to do a re-review of the OnePlus 3T, and I'm going to do it with this midnight black edition, and I've been using this for the last 9 days. And about 3 months ago I had reviewed the OnePlus 3T, and at that time it was running on Android Marshmallow, but now we have got the Android Nougat update. Strangely, I'm still on the Android version 7 for some reason. I know that the Android 7.1 has come out, but I checked it again. For me, the OT update is not coming for the 7.1 because I've heard that there are some bugs with the 7.1. So anyways, this review will be based on the Android 7, that is Nougat, and I'm going to quickly share my experience. So first thing is regarding the general performance. Again, even this midnight black edition is same internals as the regular OnePlus 3T. This also comes with the Snapdragon 821 chipset. The only thing is that this one, the black edition, comes only in the 128GB variant. And in terms of general performance, the general performance is the same. It's still one of the most fluid Android device that I've used next to Pixel. No lag or anything that I have noticed, and you can throw anything on it. And even in terms of RAM management, at least on the Android version 7.0, the RAM management has been good. I never had any problems of apps getting sluggish or have to be reloaded during my normal course of usage. So in terms of general performance, the performance has been good, very fluid, no issues. Now moving to the fingerprint scanner, still again the fingerprint scanner is excellent, one of the most responsive fingerprint scanners. As you can see, the moment you touch on it, it unlocks. So very responsive fingerprint scanner that we are getting. And some of you have asked me about this, specifically the black edition. We have this black paint coating on this one compared to the regular OnePlus 3T, which was in this color. So it is slightly a fingerprint magnet, but again, it's as you can see, it is good. And in fact, I was worried that it might get scratched because it's a paint over the metal what OnePlus has done with this one. And I've been using it for the last 9 days without a case, and as you can see, have no issues with the same. So it's, if you like the black color, yes, it's slightly a fingerprint magnet, but again, it's not like the paint is getting chipped off if you don't use a case or anything like that. As you can see, still good. Now moving to the battery life, and this has been very strange, guys. And I'm going to share my experience during the last 9 days. How was the battery life? And surprisingly, the battery life has gone down with this Nougat update. Because if you recall my earlier review that I did about 3 months ago with the OnePlus 3T, that was on Android Marshmallow, I used to get a screen on time between 4 hours to 4.5 hours with my typical usage. But on this midnight black edition with the Android 7 update, the battery life has actually fallen down by about 30 minutes in terms of screen on time. Yes, it can last me for a full typical working day, but in terms of screen on time, I was getting, the worst numbers that I've seen is around just over 3 hours of screen on time, and the best figures that I've seen is just slightly over 4 hours of screen on time. So approximately I'm seeing about 30 minutes of screen on time less with the Android 7 update. So I think so this is a update issue, because I've heard that with Android 7.1 some users were reporting that the battery life has improved a little bit. So again, it might not, but again, some users were having stability issues with the Android 7.1 update. That's the reason I think so they have pulled out. And whenever I'm checking for the OT update, it says that I'm on the current version. As you can see, if you go to the Android update, it have a app system update. It says checking for priorities, and it says already have the latest version. So yeah, so the battery life has sort of decreased with Android Nougat, and I feel the dose is also not that great. Another thing that I noticed is that if you see the screenshots in terms of screen on time, it's hovering, the average is about 3.5 hours that I'm getting. And in fact, at night also, the battery is draining quite a bit. So again, I think so it should improve with the software update. But as of now, I would say I'm not very happy with the battery life on this OnePlus 3T with the Nougat update that is on 7.0. Now again, it still comes with the fast charger, that is the dash charger. So it charges again very quickly, one of the fastest that we have seen. And even in evenings, if you're sort of a heavy user, you might have to top it up. And for 20 minutes of top up, you should be good to go. So again, we are still getting that fast dash charger with this one. And now moving to the heating issues that I have been facing with this one. As I've told you, been using it for the last 9 days, and summer is here in India. So I'll share my experience. OnePlus decided to go with the Snapdragon 821. The regular OnePlus 3 had the Snapdragon 820, but with this 3T and the 3T Midnight Black Edition, it is having the Snapdragon 821. And OnePlus chose to go with the higher clocked variant, that is clocked at 2.35 gigahertz. And I feel that is one of the main reasons that this OnePlus 3T tends to heat up a little bit more compared to the regular OnePlus 3. Even in casual usage, not very heavy like gaming and stuff. For example, if I was just using the web browser for about 4 or 5 minutes, doing a little bit of tweets here and there, the handset back was getting actually warm. And so that is one thing that I have noticed. Again, I thought with gaming, I also did quite a bit of gaming. I played 2 games with it, Modern Combat 5 and Asphalt 8. And I thought with gaming it will heat too much, but that was not the case. Modern Combat 5 ran fine, but with Asphalt 8, I did notice some frame drops with this one. And I think so, the phone's processor was trying to lower the clock speed so that the temperatures do not rise. So one thing is that even with casual usage, the handset tends to get pretty warm at the back if you hold it. It's not overheating, but you can certainly feel the heat. Again, I also had one of those OnePlus cases, and if you apply that, then I was not feeling the heat. But again, if you use it without a case, definitely the back, when you hold the phone, even with about 5-6 minutes of casual browsing, you will feel that the handset is getting pretty warm. And I feel OnePlus did a wrong decision by going with the Snapdragon 821 higher clocked version. They should have gone with what Pixel did, Google Pixel did. They also used the Snapdragon 821 version, but they used the lower clock frequency that improves the battery life. So they should have gone with that instead of this higher clocked version. So you will feel the heat, but again, it's not sort of overheating or anything. In fact, in terms of overheating, when I did gaming, if you recall, with the OnePlus 3T, this older one, when it was on Marshmallow, with Asphalt 8, it touched 45 degrees Celsius. So it was actually very hot. But this one, when I did the gaming with the Asphalt 8, it did not reach those high temperatures, but it was dropping a few frames. So looks like now OnePlus knows that these handsets can get pretty warm quickly, so they are sort of throttling it. So that is one thing you have to be aware of. Again, as I've told, with Modern Combat 5, it was very fluid in gaming. With Asphalt 8, for the most part it was fluid, but I did notice some frame drops. Now moving to the camera, rear facing camera, it's the same 16 megapixel camera that you find on the regular OnePlus 3T, no change in that. And again, in outdoor conditions and in decent lighting conditions, the camera performance is good, but in difficult lighting conditions, certainly the camera performance is not as good as the flagships like the Galaxy S7 or the Pixel X6. But again, those handsets do cost quite a bit more compared to this one. Now moving to the front-facing camera, again, if you recall, with the OnePlus 3 and even the OnePlus 3T, this one, the older one that I had, with the front-facing camera, specifically with the OnePlus 3T, they have a 16 megapixel front-facing camera, and in terms of video, sometimes the video tends to shake. That also was the case with this Midnight Black Edition. When you move, the video can get a little bit shaky. And but the audio was a lot better on this Midnight Black Edition. If you recall, the audio recording with the OnePlus 3T's front-facing camera, audio was not that great. But in this one, it's a lot better. But again, there are some bouts of spikes. Again, I recorded a sample video here. You can check it out. Recording this sample video with the front-facing camera of the OnePlus 3T. This is the Midnight Edition. And just wanted to test the front-facing camera, because with the OnePlus 3T, with the front-facing camera, if you moved, the video was very wobbly and the audio also was not that good. So let's see how is the performance with this one. I'm just walking around and you guys let me know what do you think about the audio quality and the video quality with the front-facing camera of this OnePlus 3T Midnight Black Edition. So what do I feel about this OnePlus 3T Midnight Edition? Here is a summary that I have, and the first thing is that, guys, we have this Black Edition. If you're going with this one, we only get this in one variant, that is 128 gigabytes, and that cost around 35,000. So again, we don't have a 64 gigabyte variant as of now for the Black Edition. And regarding the battery life, I'm not that happy. An average of around 3.5 hours to a max of about 4 hours that I'm seeing with a typical day's usage. And again, regarding the Android updates, the battery life might improve, but again, it's a hit or a miss. Next thing that I liked about this device is, again, as I mentioned earlier also, this is one of the most fluid Android smartphones that I have used. It's just like the Google Pixel, and you don't notice any lagginess or anything while you're using this phone. So in terms of that, it's a pleasure to use. No lag, nothing. Whatever you do, just bounces on this phone. So that way, it's a very fast Android phone. Again, as I've told you, the back tends to get actually pretty warm, so that is one thing you have to be aware of. But again, if you slap on a case, then that sort of solves that issue. And again, regarding charging, again, still one of the fastest in industry due to that dash charging. It can fully charge the device in just about 1 hour. And again, regarding the screen, this has a 1080p AMOLED screen, and I have to say the screen quality is actually very good. Even in this Indian summer, yesterday I was using the phone outdoors in direct sunlight, and even in direct sunlight at around, that was 12:30, so sun was shining directly. Then also the screen was easily visible. So they have put a very good quality AMOLED screen that is easily visible even in direct harsh sunlight. And lastly, coming to the build quality, this is one thing that I really like about this OnePlus 3, OnePlus 3T, is in terms of build quality. The build quality is actually very good. It just feels like those higher end premium smartphones. So certainly a good phone, but again, not perfect. The thing is that it does tend to get a little bit warm with usage, and also as of now with the Android 7.0 update, I do not like the battery life. The battery life is strictly average in terms of screen on time, anywhere around 3.5 hours to max of about 4 hours that I was getting with my typical usage. And again, regarding the timing, we know that the OnePlus 5 might be announced in June or July time frame. So if you really want a device right now, you can go with the OnePlus 3T. But if you can wait for a couple of months, then we know that the OnePlus 5 would be launching. It might come around the July time frame. So if you can wait till that time, I would suggest you wait. So guys, that's it for now for this sort of a re-review of this OnePlus 3T. I've already posted other videos of the OnePlus 3T. Links for those videos will be there in the YouTube show notes. So guys, that's it for now for this video. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.